Alrighty. Boom. Welcome to Ruin an Hour, everybody. A safe place to talk about everything from sobriety, addiction, balance, and life. Welcome. In the chat, you guys can talk about whatever you want. I'm going to try to host these a little bit more often. I apologize because I have not been consistent with these at all, but just to be honest, I really do have an issue with how these have turned into me talking about my issues and me, and I felt like it was rather self-absorbed for a while, and now I want to listen to you guys. I want to have the focus be back on you guys, so let's do that. How's everybody doing out there? What is everybody going through? How's life? Just kind of kick off the session. Excuse me. Rest in peace, Ben. As always, miss you every day. Me and Ben grew up skateboarding together, and I'm still like an avid skateboard fan. And he was like one of the last few guys I could send skate videos to, and we could talk about skating. And whenever I watch skating, I was like, damn, I can't talk to him about skating. This kind of sucks. But grief is an interesting thing. I'm not really good with grief. I think I hold on to grief way longer than I should, especially in a romantic sense. I grieve exes to a really large degree, and it's uncomfortable to sit through that. But flipping over to what's going on in the world right now. And I just want to listen to what everybody else is going through. I know that this is a rough time for everybody, especially with just how much bullshit is going on. So I kind of want to talk to everybody about that. Me and my older roommate used to watch old skating videos randomly. I got the nostalgia of throwing a video on and just hanging out with him. Let me scoot this closer. Yeah, bro. Now let's get it. That's awesome. That's awesome, Keyzone. Appreciate that, dude. That's cool. I'm glad you share that. Yeah, it's sick. It's super sick. How you doing, dude? What's going on in your life? I know that I said it was going to be on at 7, but I decided to go on right now because I got home from work relatively early. I went to the doctors, and it was actually way easier than I thought it was, so that was pretty rad. And yeah, man, 7 years sober, 7.5 years sober. A couple cool things to talk about mental health wise. I've gone to a couple SLA meetings. If you guys don't know what that is, it's Sex Love Addicts Anonymous, and it's a pretty badass thing, honestly. I've only gone to a couple, but I want to go to more. If you guys are struggling with sex or love addiction or porn addiction, it's a really, really good tool to utilize to build a community around you and hear how other people are going through it, because it's not something that a lot of people talk about, especially amongst men. Men don't really talk about that a lot, and it's nice to hear how much of an issue it is for a lot of people. I do feel like it's an issue for most people. It's just not discussed openly. The champion of the decade. Appreciate that, dude. How's everybody doing out there? I wonder if people hook up a lot at those meetings. No, I don't think so, dude. I think that's more of an AA thing. I think AA is generally a little bit more predatory, to be honest with you. And I don't mean to be throwing dirt on the AA program. The 12-step program works for a lot of people, and I think it's a great thing. But just knowing how kind of in vogue AA is, I think the people that generally go to SLA are really actually looking to heal, to be real with you. And I know that the connotation of being a sex and love addict is you think people would just sleep with anybody because they are obviously dealing with addictions and strong urges. But to be honest with you, I think most people are addicted to those urges. We just don't really quantify it in addiction way, which, to be honest with you, I'm even kind of struggling with too, because sex and love are such a natural thing, and there's such a need for every human, where areas like alcohol is not a need for me. I can quit alcohol super easy. It's not a need. Same with like any sort of drug or anything. So it's different than something like sex and love. No, they tell people that they shouldn't date for the first year. Yep, they do that. They say that you're not supposed to be romantic for the first year. To be honest with you, I haven't done the 12 steps in any program. As you guys know, I got sober in a really unorthodox way. I just quit cold turkey, and I'm not saying that that's anybody else's path besides my own. It's not something I advertise as being like the ultimate way to quit drinking. Just stop, because I don't think there's one path for anybody. I think we all are like super complex, and we're all raised so differently, and we're all composed of so many different experiences that make us you and us, that it's really impossible for me to be like, you should do this because it worked for me, because maybe I'm not an alcoholic, honestly. Like, maybe that's why quitting alcohol was really easy for me. But I haven't done the 12 steps, but that is generally, advised to not date in the first year of it. Thoughts on King with respect to everybody who arrived in the scene after 2022? Yeah, I try to stay away from talking about battle rap in here. This is more about like mental health, but we can chat about battle rap. King is awesome. King is super dope. Same, not easy, but all the other options just lead to new people to get high with. Yeah, word. Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's difficult, like in general, trying to find a solution to an addiction. I think the great part about like a 12-step program is honestly the fact that you get like a sponsor, and you get like people that like know you really well, and can like help you when you're of need and give you that assistance. I think that community is really, really important when you're trying to get sober from anything or stop any bad habit. Desi, what up? I feel super accomplished now, having a child, legal drinking age, who doesn't want to get hammered and just has 1 or 2 drinks. Broke the cycle. Congratulations, Desi. That's incredible. That's really amazing. How do you feel about that? How does it feel raising a kid in this day and age? I know that like it's a completely different time than when we were growing up. Apologies, I didn't catch the theme. Nah, it's all good, man. Appreciate you, dog. King is dope. King's awesome. It's one of the best newcomers for sure. For sure. But yeah, it's 12 steps are dope, man. I probably should do it. I mean, I've kind of done the 12 steps without doing the 12 steps, but I'm not going to lie that there is a bit of avoidancy to that aspect of myself and getting sober from like that thing. It's really fucking hard. It's super, super hard. Not going to lie. It's about the company you keep. If you want to get help being around like-minded people with the same struggles and strategies can be essential. I agree, 705 Corey. That's really true. Yeah, it is. I mean, there is something to be said about the people that you keep around you. I mean, it's like all energy exchanged, right? I think it's kind of darker, more hopeless now than it was in 2007. That's for sure. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, like, I was watching a Soft White Underbelly. That's a channel that's ran by this guy Mark out here that like interviews people today about like a porn addict, and that resonated with me because I also deal with like porn addiction as well. And this guy was talking about how nowadays kids have like a phone in their pocket that they can immediately have access to anything they want, any sort of images that they please, or not even kids, us, we can do that. And how different it was when I was young. It's like when I was young, you would have to go to get like a VHS or a DVD or a magazine. Now that's like changed so much, and just how like kind of normalized porn is also. It's kind of concerning. I don't know. I think like we're going to see like kind of the effects of it, which we already have on like young people's minds, and especially men. I think like men are really altered by it. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but it like really, the amount I consumed it is really altered me in like a very, very negative way. How do you break through the qualms of putting yourself out there and networking, if that's appropriate? Yeah, dude. I mean, that is uncomfortable. Is like putting yourself out there and networking with people is really difficult. I can completely empathize with that. You know, like to share a similar story. I've been learning, and after learning, I've been teaching salsa for like the past year and a half. And teaching and going to class is really fun. Going out and dancing for me is a really big struggle because there's a social element to it. That's the challenge. So I get it. Like, you just have to do it. You have to be uncomfortable. It's like there's no easy answer to it other than that, is that you have to do what doesn't feel good at the current point in time. Like, it's going to be all right, man. It'll be all right afterwards, and you're going to have to swing and miss a fuck ton for anything in life. For anything that you want, there's going to be an amount of like effort that's going to be difficult and challenging the entire time. My opinions on how to address social media addiction. It's a big business. Man, dude, I know it's rough. So it's hard for me because, you know, I don't have an Instagram. Ruin Your Day has social media. I go on Ruin Your Day's Twitter now. And it's like, I didn't have Twitter for a very long time after, you know, I got canceled. I quit Twitter. Felt great. And then came back. And I hate Twitter, dude. Twitter is the worst thing in the world. It is so fucking bad in every way. I go on there and I get just rage baited constantly. I get mad. I see people dying. I see people being hated. I think, like, when I was thinking about it, Twitter is such an unnatural thing, because when in society, life, even like in nature, are you being a part of thousands of different conversations all at one time? And not even conversation, just statements being thrown at you, just like absolute statements, like this is this way, this is this way. And it becomes like a basic soup of just negativity and terrible shit. I fucking hate Twitter more than anything, man. Sorry if that's like a super negative opinion, but I think a good way to get off social media is to leave your phone in another room, especially when you sleep. I don't do this, but I also don't like go on my phone before I sleep. I'm like blessed to be really good at sleeping. So as soon as my head hits a pillow, I fall asleep. It's probably because I work a lot. But a lot of people leave their phones in like the living room instead of the bedroom. Or they'll have like a screen time counter, you know, on their phone. To be a little bit more extreme, you could block sites too. I need to block Twitter. Like, that would be helpful for me to like block Twitter and not be able to go on there, honestly. But yeah, social media is a big struggle. Have you been struggling with that? Like, what have you been going through? I don't know the story behind getting canceled. You want to share? I mean, I've talked about it ad nauseum at this point, but yeah, I got canceled like 4 years ago. I laughed at a racist joke and contributed to it in some ways, and yeah, and it was like a white guy making the joke, and I work in the black space, and it's not cool at all. But I will say that going through that and like having the world go at me and be like, you know, because it was when George Floyd got murdered, so it was just like a very tense time, and like everybody was like just out for blood, essentially, rightfully so. I'm really grateful for going through that, to be honest with you. It like taught me so much, because when I came out on the other side, basically I don't care anymore if people think I'm racist. It doesn't bother me, because you're gonna have your own opinion on me, whether or not I'm the best person in the world, whether I'm not a pure person. And it really did teach me to not be bothered by what people think about me, especially in the battle rap world. So it's like, I don't care anymore if people think I'm racist. they have their right to their opinion. I know that what I am, and I'm proud of who I am, and I'm working every day to be a better version of myself, but it taught me a lot. I'm like super grateful for it, to be honest with you. It is what it is, honestly. I think if I went through it again, it would be a lot different. But I don't know, man, dude. I'm a white dude. I made a lot of mistakes. I made so many mistakes that are beyond that. I made like very, very bad mistakes in my life. I've cheated on women that that I was in love with, that I still think about actions that I've done in the past, ex-girlfriends that still eat me up today, that contribute towards a small voice inside of me that tells me that I'm a bad person every single day. So I work through a lot of regret and remorse. Move out of shame into that. You're the farthest thing from racist. Thank you. Appreciate that. What a crisis on Twitter at this time. Yeah, I know. Sorry if you've spoken about it before. They can think what they think. They don't know what you know. Exactly. I left my phone in the other room now. My wife has to listen to Abel's mental encouragements. Let's go. That's hilarious. That's super funny. But yeah, was a big thing that I went through. Have you guys experienced anything like similar? Shed that skin completely, learn and grow from it. I appreciate it. I'm 52 and I still learn and grow daily. Respect. That's awesome, man. That's really good. I mean, I try to do that too. I make daily mistakes like that I'm fucking ashamed of. That I get mad in traffic, and that's like so embarrassing. It's like the most embarrassing thing to get like pissed off driving, and like heated too, like yelling. It's like not a good look. So yeah, I'm constantly trying to grow and change for the better and learn to be wrong. That's a big thing, is like trying to be wrong and like being more comfortable being incorrect and growing from it. My issues at battle rap marketing is on social media, and I love battle rap, so I have to be there. I don't agree with that, my man. I think battle rap is actually so much better if you get off social media, dude. I think like if you didn't get on social media and you just went to events, my cancellation is the perfect example of this. Like people were like going at my family on social media and like pulling up images of like my mom and my dad who have nothing to do with battle rap. And I was going to events during the time, and people were like coming up to me and wanting to engage with me over it in like a civil, polite way, and they were so like compassionate towards it. Obviously they were concerned and wanted questions and wanted to like, you know, voice their opinion, which I was all ears for. But battle rap off social media is fucking awesome. It's great. You go to these events, people are all family. We're all like dapping each other up, talking with each other like we haven't seen like family in like years. And you go on Twitter and everybody hates each other. So yeah, I think you'd be fine, dude, if you got off it. I think if you just followed people on YouTube and like watched YouTube, I think you'd be good, honestly. I don't think you would miss anything being off social media, especially in battle rap. I don't think you would miss much being off social media, period, to be real with you. You could ask people opinions about what's going on and learn from people, because that's kind of already what you're doing on social media regardless, is like ingesting others' opinions and regurgitating it, which is great. It's a great way of learning, but becomes pretty problematic, I feel. Easier said than done when it comes to events. I just stay out of the comments. Chat is way off, I find. I agree. Not to further it, but those spaces are killer. Yes, spaces are pretty bad. I know that a lot of people like spaces. They're just not for me. Maybe they work for other people, but I'm not. I don't feel myself being enriched afterwards. I feel almost like I ate a bunch of fast food. That's what it feels like sometimes when I'm in spaces. But yeah, I try to be off social media as much as possible. I try to read. I used to try to read a lot more. I've been really terrible about reading recently. Fitness is big. as always, I preach fitness. I think fitness is the best form of anything you can do for yourself. I work out every day. Today I ran 7 miles and then did 400 push-ups, 400 squats, 10 minutes planks. And yeah, dude, if I could advise anybody to do anything to better themselves, it'd be to work out or just do something active every day. Something, just walk around the block. I'm going to walk with your friends, family, your loved ones. It's like a great way to bookend the day, honestly. And it will get your mind off of things. Whenever you're like being eaten up inside and you're really pissed about something or like stressed, depressed, take a walk and see if you feel the same way after the walk. I guarantee it will alter it in some way. But yeah, I don't do it. TikTok, barely touch it. Facebook, Insta, I only do it for chat or friends. I mean, it's a great tool to keep up with people. I know that. I just think it's hard to get away from the really toxic aspects of it. Walking is king. Yep, I agree with that, man. How much do you walk every day? How much do you walk? Extant pulls. I'm horrible at seeing. It's insane. I do visual art and I'm terrible. My eyes are so bad, man. But yeah. Walking's good. I've been leaning into fitness a lot recently. I mean, I went through a pretty traumatic thing a couple months ago. Which is probably needed, and I probably deserved it, to be honest. But it's something that like really was hard to go through. And yeah, man, I think like a thing that is really hard for me to sit with about like the things I've done in the past is exactly that. Like to know that I've done terrible things to people that don't deserve it. That like eats me alive. The things I've done. And I've like forgiven myself for them, but still to know like they've harmed great people, specifically one person. They've fucked up one woman's life really bad, and that bothers me a lot. It really carries a lot of weight, and to move through that's what I'm talking about with the grief. It's really hard to like. I don't know how people make big mistakes like that. It just doesn't eat them alive, because it eats me alive, that's for sure. Okay, what up, man? The inmates are running the asylum. It's all bad. That's hilarious. That's super funny, dude. The dog strikes again. Any comment on EK's rant about Geechee's critics? I feel like a useful, honest convo can be had in the community. I just don't know what. So yeah, I mean, dude, I don't. It's not my place to say anything. Like, it's not my place to say anything about what Geechee's going through other than, like, I love Geechee as a human. I'll do anything for him. Like, if I could flip this camera around, his podcast is literally what I'm looking at. His podcast is in my house. I film his podcast every week. Ever since we met, we've been, like, working together. We've never exchanged money. We've never, like, paid each other to do anything. We've only helped each other out. And to know that he's not home with his family and he's sitting in a cell it really, really fucking bothers me, and it bugs the shit out of me. So I'm going to do whatever I can to help him. Like, I'm going to try to get him out. I've spent a lot of money already sending it to his GoFundMe. His free Geechee page is up if you guys want to donate. Now to talk about stuff behind it, that's where I can't. It's not my room to talk. Like, I can't. That's his role to speak about it, not me. I don't want to be another person adding anything to that conversation, because to be honest with you, it's not my conversation to be had. I'm a fucking white guy from Colorado. Like, what am I going to talk about anybody doing anything in the streets? I think me voicing my opinion on it would be kind of corny, other than like this. I love Geechee. I wish he was home. I want him free. That's it. But yeah, I felt that I've fallen my son as a father. Being denied for an apartment as a single income father is a very hard shot to the gut. I feel like less of a man. I work 50 hours a week. How did you get denied? Are you like below? Did you apply for Section 8 and they like denied you? I don't think you failed as a father, man. You're working your ass off. You're working 50 hours a week. You're providing for your son. I think if anything, you're like doing it, dude. The economy is so hard to live in right now. People are homeless all over the place. I mean, I live in Los Angeles, and like there's so many people that are homeless here that are not really homeless. Like when you think of like you're homeless, you think of somebody who's like on Skid Row doing crack or something, but that's not true. A lot of the homeless people actually have jobs, have like degrees, and they live in their car because they can't afford rent. Rent is insane. So you shouldn't feel like you failed your son at all. You're literally trying. Failure would be not trying. Failure would be giving up. Failure would be not trying to provide for him. You're actually attempting to give him a great life, and you're doing that too. I mean, if you're working that much, you're doing a good job, man. You didn't fail at all. But yeah. Yeah, sorry, that Geechee conversation kind of fucked me up. Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. I was just like sitting with him like a fucking like 3 days before that happened too. It's an astronomical amount are those who simply can't afford rent. Agreed. That's very true. And the thing about it is like I'm personally like I know that we can view like so I don't make the requirements. A lot of places want you to make 4 times the rent. What the fuck? That's crazy. I don't make 4. Dude, my place, I pay a lot for this place. I do not make 4 times that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I do. I don't know. It would be kind of hard pressed for me to make 4 times that. Maybe I do, actually. I don't know. I never thought of it that way. I'm trying. Thanks, Ever, for that. Yeah, man, dude. I mean, if you can, like, get like moving with a homie. Like, see if like you can stay with a friend, or like get a friend that can like split the rent with you, you know. And then there is always, I think you can apply for Section 8 if you have a child and like you can prove that you're working. I think there's some sort of Section 8 thing that you can do. And like I know people that have lived in Section 8. Section 8 housing is actually like really nice. It's not like anything to scoff at. It's actually like pretty wonderful. You live in Southern Ohio, okay. If you could make 4 times the rent, you could afford a house. Yeah, I know, exactly. I mean, I live in a house, dude. I rent a house. I don't own this place. It'd be crazy. Want credit scores? Most people can only dream of. Yeah, that's true. They definitely want a lot. I mean, they don't make moving into places easy at all. That's crazy because if you're a single mother, they give you a Section 8 mansion. Is it only single mothers? What about a single father? Is that like where there's like a discrepancy between the two? Either way, dude, you should not feel I know that it's impossible to not feel like that's a blow to your ego, and you're going to feel the way you're going to feel regardless of what I say, but I don't think you should feel like you have failed. I don't think that's a failure at all. I think that's admirable. Like, you're a great father, like, especially for like working that hard and trying to provide for your kid. Fuck yeah, that's dope. That's amazing. I mean, it's just hard. That's the reality of living in this world, is that shit is rough right now. People are struggling in all ways. People, not even people that are like bad, like people that are well off are struggling. Like my boss is like, he's like, okay, I can't pay for this because I got to pay for this. I can't like, and I'm not talking about like I can't fucking build a pool in my backyard. He's like saying he can't like eat this type of meal today. And this is like the guy that's like my boss. It's like we work in the film industry. It's everybody is struggling. So don't feel like you have failed, dude. That's not the case at all. That's just like factually untrue. Major discrepancies between mother and father in the system. It's not even close. It's horrible. That's pretty bad. Yeah, and you haven't quit. Exactly. The fact that you haven't quit speaks volumes. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Just keep going, dude. I know that like that sounds so corny to say, especially coming from me. Like, I don't know the struggles of being a dad. I don't know how rough it is. I'm a very immature person and like really reckless and irresponsible overall. But I can say that the fact that you haven't quit shows a lot about your character. And if you keep going, good things will happen. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. You got to keep working hard. You got to just put your fucking, like, grind it out. Bad shit doesn't happen to people that keep going. Bad stuff happens to people that stop and give up. You have to keep trying. And if you keep trying, success will find you, because everything you want is on the other side of hard. And I know that sounds very cringe, but it's true. It's very true. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like motivational time or anything like that. Ever try meditation? Yeah, I do. Meditation's awesome. Anybody that wants to do meditation, YouTube like has like 5-minute guided meditations that are wonderful. Every time I meditate, I cry. Every single time. And crying for me has been something that's been like difficult throughout my whole life. Like at times of like extreme emotional distress, like when I'm like super heartbroken, I should be like bawling my eyes out. I like don't cry. It's so annoying. I like hate it. But like every time I meditate, there's some like release I get from it, and I like shed tears. So there's guided meditations on YouTube that are super, super enriching and empowering. I highly suggest anybody to do those. That's awesome that you're doing that. That's really cool. I know words don't help much, but keep your head up. Agreed. Single parenting is a struggle. I'm done getting frustrated. Other parents can take their kids here and there everywhere, and no point losing energy on that. Just trying to be the best version of me as a dad. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's great, dude. I'm a single dad, raised son, so his entire life by myself. He's 23 now. It was not easy, but definitely worth it. That's amazing to talk to about this stuff. Of course, dude. That's what this space is here for, man. You can talk about whatever you want. I mean, that's completely understandable that you wouldn't like be able to vocalize that amongst a lot of people. But you got this, dude. You just got to keep going. Going through that right now, it's confusing as shit. Can't cry for some reason. Yeah, it's super annoying. Trust me, it's very annoying. Like when I've been in like the fucking throes of heartbreak for fucking years, for fucking so long, dude. It's for an embarrassing amount of time, and have cried maybe a handful of times. Man, it's weak. It really sucks. I think it's like some like toxic masculinity that I'm like rooted in, but like weird things will make me sob, like some weird poetry, some weird books, movies, you know? So I think, Merc, you just got to find the thing that like really just like tugs your cord. Pause. Crying gets out of the pity. We only do it. Yeah, exactly. Men don't really cry. It's been like shunned for men to cry, but crying is fucking rad, dude. Such a release. Single parenthood is hard as fuck. It has its challenges no matter what. You got this. Yeah, speak up, Desi. Desi's killing it. She's got a wonderful family. Your honesty about your alcohol issues, that helped a lot. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. I was helping, so the dance instructor that I assist, I don't like teach my own class. I assist a dance instructor, and she's an amazing dancer, an amazing person. And I was helping her move, and she like asked me about drinking. She's like, "Why did you stop?" And a lot of people ask me about that because I think they don't really know how to like navigate when I'm like, "Oh, I'm sober," because it might sound kind of like, "Oh my God, oh, like, did you have a problem?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I had a problem. I drank a lot, and I did really bad shit when I drank." And drinking, it's not like I'm scapegoating drinking, because ultimately it was me doing all the terrible things at that time in my life, and I take full responsibility for those. I was a fucking terrible person, and I can't blame alcohol for that. I'm not like, "Oh, I was just drunk," you know. Same with getting canceled. Like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you were drunk at the time," and I'm like, "Yeah, but so what, dude? So what? That's no excuse." But the other side of like not drinking was, it's so amazing. Like when you quit for a while, you just feel the positive aspects coming out in such an inignorable way, where it's like you look healthier, you feel healthier, you're not waking up with hangovers, you're not doing stuff you regret. Like, I think the biggest thing for people when they stop any sort of vice, they're like, well, how am I going to get my fix? Like, what am I going to do at the end of the day? Isn't life going to be boring? I think people have asked me that, like, oh, you don't drink, what do you do? And I'm like, I actually enjoy life. Life is kick ass. I'm not like walking through life being numb. I'm actually like present and enjoying it. Granted, I do other stuff, you know, that like I'm not like fucking psyched on, that I'm trying to like weed out of my life. But alcohol is definitely something that I like feel good about never doing again. Like, I don't think I'm going to drink ever again. Thank you, Alvo, for making a space for this, like, people to talk, especially men. We don't have our emotions and yeah, dude, I appreciate you thanking me, man. I mean, like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. Like, I appreciate you guys joining me and like being honest and vulnerable as well. That like speaks a lot about everybody in here, that you guys are able to do that. Come in here and speak about your issues. But yeah, I feel like I analyze my emotions instead of feeling them. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, what if you just tried to feel them and like, instead of like being like, oh, why am I feeling this? Who cares why you're feeling it? Just feel it. Just be sad. If shit's sad, be sad. I think like excuse me, I'm just going to talk about me because I can only speak for myself. I've always had an issue of like, okay, wanting to make things better for people. Like, if somebody's feeling sad, I want to make you feel better. And a good friend of mine, who's a therapist, actually like taught me this amazing tool about when you're in a situation or you're in an emotion, it's valid to be in that emotion. If you're sad, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel like shit. It's okay to feel depressed. It's okay to feel grief. Wanting to constantly escape the bad feelings is not a good sign. You should feel them completely and sit in them and be like, yeah, this sucks, because emotions are transient. Emotions are not forever. They pass. Usually pretty quick. I mean, like, think about COVID. Like, think about like us wearing masks. Like, we don't even think about like how crazy that time was, that we weren't allowed to like interact with each other, that we were all in our houses. That's how quickly our mind like forgets things. Yeah, just allow yourself to feel. I know it's not easy. It's difficult. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I've been clean and sober since 2017. Congrats. That's fucking awesome. When did you quit? I remember you were talking about this stuff like 10 years ago easily. I quit alcohol 7 years ago, 7.5 years ago. So I'm going to be 8 years sober in July. Yeah, it's been wonderful. If you don't mind me saying, I'm from the UK and I've watched Ruin Your Day for years. I could see such a difference in you from watching Lunar Sea, O'Shea video to those recent. You should be proud. Thank you, dude. That means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I like that stuff exists, to be honest, because I do like looking back on it, and a lot of things have changed beyond just like my physical appearance. Like the way I talk and act have changed so much, and I feel like I've grown up a lot. A lot of ways I'm still immature, and I still have a lot of growing up to do. But I appreciate that. Thank you. It's like watching the feelings from an observation room from the other side, a two-way mirror while analytical me takes notes. Interesting. That's interesting. So it's like an outside-of-body experience when you feel anything, or just like hard things? Man, y'all motivating me like a motherfucker. Appreciate all y'all and your testimonies. I've been battling wanting to quit weed for a while now, and this is awesome to hear from everybody. Yeah, dude, weed is another thing that's really difficult to quit. I think just give yourself grace. Like, I think the hard thing about when people ask me about sobriety and I tell them that I just stopped and I haven't like relapsed and I'm probably never going to relapse, I think that's like an unfair standard to hold yourself to in any addiction, because guess what? I've been trying to quit porn for fucking 8 years and I've not been successful. And I don't like, like totally live in shame over that. I think like saying that you should be able to stop something cold turkey and never do it again is such an unrealistic thing to ask of anybody that's like quasi addicted to something that they like. I think tapering off slowly and giving yourself grace if you do use something is so helpful, especially with like weed. If you don't get those feelings that they build up and ruin your peace. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Appreciate everybody joining me. Appreciate everybody being in here and being vulnerable. It means a lot to me. I would like to keep doing these. I just like never have, I don't know. There's no excuse. Honestly, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I don't have the time, but I have the time. I could just not sleep and do these, you know? So I appreciate everybody being in here. I'll try to do these more often. Thanks to everybody joining me in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Free Geechee. I think it's freegeecheegotti.com. R.I.P. Ben. R.I.P. everybody. R.I.P. Pat, Bender, PH, everybody that we've lost. Free Bill Collector 2. Free Surf. A lot of people aren't here anymore, man. It's rough. It's fucking rough. But appreciate you guys. Yeah. I'll catch you guys later. If this plays music, I apologize. Peace out.
By joining, you get early access to all the watch episodes we do. You also get access to these cool new emojis in the chat that you can use when we go live, as well as loyalty badges that go right next to your name. Joining the YouTube membership program, in addition to supporting the Patreon, is a great way to support Ruin Your Day. Thanks a lot, guys. Much love. Peace out. Sup, y'all? Welcome to Ruin Your Day's new YouTube membership. By joining, you get early access to all the watch episodes we do. You also get access to these cool new emojis in the chat that you can use when we go live, as well as loyalty badges that go right next to your name. Joining the YouTube membership program, in addition to supporting the Patreon, is a great way to support Ruin Your Day. Thanks a lot, guys. Much love. Peace out. Sup?